Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how you can create a fingertip detail onto a surface of a box like this and creating the lid and the body of the box. So hope you enjoy the tutorial. Okay, so I will create the lid first. In the Part Workbench, I will create a new sketch in the front view. And I will draw a slot on this green line. I select these 2 points and the red line, and I hit S for symmetry constraint. And you can see I have redundant constraints. I click on the number 6, and FreeCAD will select the vertical constraint number 6. So you just simply hit the delete key to delete it. And then I have 2 degrees of freedom. I click on it, and I need to constrain the radius of this arc. So I click off and selecting this arc and hit D and set the radius to 40 and set the length of this line 80. Now the sketch is fully constrained. I close. Next, I go up to the view and toggle axis cross to show the arrow. I select in the sketch and go to extrude 20. Next, I want to create a fillet on this edge. So I click on this edge and go to creating a fillet. And I type in here 10. Okay. And you can see in the picture, I want to create the front part of the lid. So I don't need these faces in the back. So I go to the curve workbench and just simply control selecting all of these faces on front. You can see these faces. And I click on the parametric solid to create a new surface. And I hit spacebar to hide the fillet, and you can see I only have this surface. Next, I want to create a hole in here, a big hole. I go back to the Part Workbench and creating a new sketch in the front. And I will reference this arc. I view the section and creating a circle on this point. I selecting this circle and hit D and set the diameter to 53. I close. And then I will extrude this one to about 40. Next, I will control selecting this surface and the extrude, and I go to the cut to cut it. Now I have a hole in here. The next step is I want to create the fingertip detail up here. So if I go from the outside to the inside, from the outside I have one extreme edge, and go in here I have another one, another one, another one, and the last one in here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 extreme edge. So in FreeCAD, what I will do is I will create a line connect from the center of the circle come to this edge, and another line the same length with this line but offset a little bit in the back. And on these 2 lines, I will generate multiple points in between, like 10 points on this line, and also 10 points on this line. Okay, so we have 10 here and 10 here. And in between, I will generate a sketch to connect like a zigzag curve to generate a sine curve connect in between. And when I have this sine curve, I will use this scene curve to sweep or revolve around one axis to generate the surface. So I will create in a new sketch in the front view, and for this sketch I will reference this circle. Okay, and then I will view the section. I create in a line connect from this point to about here. I select in this line and hit H for horizontal constraint, and then selecting this point and this circle and hit C to snap it together. Now the sketch is fully constrained. I can close. Okay. Next, I want to move this line to match this position of this surface. So I will select in this sketch and right click and go to attachment editor, and when it's selected, I click on this surface to snap it into this position, as you can see. Now I hit OK. The next step is I want to generate poise in between this line. So I select in this sketch and go to the curve workbench, and using the tool Discretized. So I click on it, and in the T view I have Discretized edge. I click on it and I go to the data, and in default the number of poise is 100. So I set this one to 10. And I want to make the poise display bigger, so I go to the view and set the poise size to 10. Now you can see the poise size is now bigger, and I have 10 poise in here. Next, I want to create a copy of this Discretized, so I Ctrl C to copy, and I uncheck the R and just simply click on the Discretized, and I uncheck these two options and I click on OK, and I hit Ctrl V to paste it. Now for the new Discretized, I go down to the data and the placement position, and I want to move this one back a little bit, so I go to the y-axis and set this one to about 5 mm. And you can see we have 10 more poise in the back. Okay, next I want to hide everything except for these two Discretized. So I hit Shift B and select everything and hit spacebar to hide everything. I just want to show these two Discretized. I zoom close here, and let me go to the product workbench. In the product workbench, I will control selecting this point first and this point later, and creating a new sketch based on the old X and Y. So my new sketch will have the new center in here, which is the O, and the x-axis of my new sketch will go to this direction on the second point that I select, and the y-axis will go to about here, 90 degrees with this axis. So I click OK. Now I want to create in a zigzag curve like this. So I need to reference this point. Actually, no need to reference. So I start from this point and I come up here, this point and this point, and come down here, this point and this point. Come up here, this one, come down here, this one and this one. Next, I will create a B-spline. Start from the center, go to this point, and go up here, connect to this one and this one. Come down here, then go up, go down, and close. Okay, next I will hide these two and show the cut. Okay, so to generate the surface, you can use the sweep or the revolve. So I will show you the sweep first. I click on the sweep, and then I double click on the sketch 003, and I click on sweep path, and I click on this circle and hit done and OK. Now you can see I have a new surface, and I can control how deep this surface is by controlling the position of the discretized number 1. I show this one, which is these points in the back. So if I go down to the data and the y-axis of this one, and I set, instead of 5, I set this one to Joe, and you can see this surface is now more flat. Let's try this one to 3. You see how the surface change. 4. I think I will go to 3. Something like this. Next, I will control selecting the cut and the sweep, and I go to the fusion, the union, to fusion them. I click on this one and go to the 3D offset. And I want to offset this one to inside, so I go to negative 2.5 for that. And I click OK. And if I drop this one down and I hide the fusion, and this is how the 3D offset look like. You can see this part go inside, but this part go outside. The reason this one go outside is that the normal direction of this part is different from this part. So I need to reverse the direction of this part to the opposite direction. So how to do that? You can see if I drop the fusion down and I click on the sweep, which is my fingertip detail, and in the data, I cannot find any option to reverse the direction of this surface. So instead of using the sweep, I will use the revolve instead. So I will go back and click on the offset and I delete it. And I click on the fusion and I just delete it. And because I don't want to use the sweep, so I also delete this one. And I come back to my original curve. I want to revolve this one around one axis, so I need a line. Like this, and I will revolve this curve around this axis. And if the surface offset to the wrong direction, I just simply go back to the revolve and revolve this one back in the reverse direction, and it will fix the problem. So to create the axis to revolve, I go to creating a new sketch in the right view, and I rotate the sketch a little bit and reference this point right here, and then creating a line like this. I selecting this line and hit H for horizontal constraint. Selecting this line and this point, and I hit C to snap it together. and then I close. Next, I will click on this curve and go to the Revolve. And I click on select reference for the axis. And then I click on this line over here. And everything is in default. I click OK. Alright, now let's test this surface. So I will control selecting the cut and the Revolve. And go to the Union again. And click on the new fusion and go to the 3D offset. And this time also negative 2.5. Okay. And you can see the 3D offset working fine in this case. Alright. So what happened if I go down here, I drop this one down and drop this one down and click on the Revolve. And I go down to the data, and in here I have an option angle. What happened if I put a negative number for the 360 to reverse in the to revolve in the reverse direction? I click off, and you can see the 3D offset going exactly like the sweep I did before. You can see. So I turn this one back to the 360. Alright. Let me hit Shift B and select everything, and again hide everything. I want to show the 3D offset and the fusion. Next, I want to create the rest area of this lid. So I go to the bottom view and creating a new sketch on the top view, but I click on the reverse direction. I click OK. I view the section and I will reference this line over here and also this curve. I will create in two lines. One line connect from this point, go to here, and another line like this. And I select in this point, and I set the distance to 2.5. I select in this point and hit D and set the distance to 40. Now I select in this line and hit G and N to turn that into construction geometry. And in here I will put an arc from here to here. And I set the radius of this one to 25. And I will create in a line like this. I select in this point and I hit C to snap it together. This point and this point, hit C. Now the sketch is fully constrained. I can close. Next I will do in the same, creating a sweep. So I click on the sweep and I go to the sketch 005, double click on it, and I click on sweep path and control selecting these edges outside and hit done, and do not check on the create solid, don't check it, and click OK. Now I have a new surface. I drop the sweep down and hide the sketch 005. Now I click on nothing and then I go to the curve workbench. In the curve workbench, I control selecting the 3D offset, the fusion, and the sweep. And I go to creating parametric solid. And I have a new solid 001 over here, which is the lid. Next, I will create in the detail below this lid. So again, I go back to the Project Workbench and creating a new sketch in the top view, but I click on the reverse direction and I click OK. And for this sketch, I will also view the section and reference this line. I will create in a rectangle, something like this. And I set the length of this line to 2 mm. And the length from this point to this point is 1.5. Let's try 1.5 for that. And keep this part longer outside a little bit. And I close. Next, I go to the sweep. Click on the sweep and double click on the sketch 006. And I click on the sweep part. And then you can just simply control selecting these edges. And hit done and create solid and click OK. Now I will control selecting this one, which is the solid 001 and the sweep 001 later, and I click on the cut. Now I hide this one. And you can see I have this detail in here. Next, I will create in the body of this box. So I go to creating a new sketch in the top, but I click on also reverse direction. I view the section and reference this line and then this line and then this line. I create a polyline. I zoom close here and start from here, go to here, and then go down here, and then go to the left, and then go down here, go to the right, something like this. I zoom close here and also reference this line. I select in this point and I hit V for vertical constraint. And in here you can put a gap in between these two. So I select these 2 points and hit D and set the distance to 0.25, something like this. From here to here you hit L, 0.25. From here to here, hit I, 0.22. This point and this point, hit V for vertical constraint. I zoom out. And I will select in this point and hit D and set the length to 20. And also creating a fillet in between and set the radius to 5, something like this. Next, I will select in this line and also this line, and I will create in an offset geometry, or you can use the hotkey Z and T. Click on it, and you click on the add offset constraint. You click on this option, and then you come over here and you type in here. Make sure you don't move your mouse, and you type in here 2.5 for the offset. Enter, something like this, and then you can delete in this line. Okay, I zoom close here and creating a line to connect from here to here. Okay, maybe I should set the distance of this line you just simply set the length of this one and click OK. The length of this one and click OK. Just for to lock them, creating a fully constrained sketch, and I can close. And then I can go to the sweep and double click on the sketch 007 and click on the sweep path and just simply control selecting this line outside. It's a little bit hard to see. Be careful. And then you click done and create solid. I click OK. Now I drop this one down and hide the sketch 007. Next, I control select the issue and go to the view and set the deviation down to 0.01. Okay. And you can go back here and changing the gap, the distance. You can design your own to make this one work for your design. Okay, something like this. So I will call this one body, and this one will be delete. Something like this. So hope you enjoy and see you in the next video.